Hello and welcome to the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. This is the second knockout in the final series here. Big money at stake, and it's Greg Brooks up against Carl Bottomley, two young players who have come through the ranks and certainly are on fire and capable of winning this if they can continue their runs. Greg Brooks from Victoria up first. He had a very impressive win in the first of the playoffs over David Weald, 182 to 175 off lane 11.
Come on. Hit it!
Well, Tony, Greg's gone out there with the softer ball. He won with the less porous ball, and he's paid the price. I think he's gone up through the nose straight away. Unlucky there not to knock the 9 out, but still left with a split.
Early trial shot, I think, Terry. I think he wanted to see how that ball reacted.
As we watch his shot go through.
Again, the first frame, if you're going to open one, that's the frame to open.
This is young Carl Bottomley, a student from Bulimba in Brisbane, 4 times Australian representative, World Youth Masters, Queensland Open and South Coast Open in 88 were his tournament victories. In 89, the Asian Youth Masters and the Southern Plains Open. I didn't like that one much at all. And to get here, he defeated Mark Ramsey in the first round, 266 to 117. Round 2, Fred Alsop, 195 to 191. A cliffhanger, that one. We have a look at his first delivery.
Yes, well, he's sending the ball out really wide. The lanes were a little bit wetter. Ball not coming back as much as he'd like. But let's see if he can pick this spare up. This is going to be tricky. Great shot. That was an excellent spare.
Good spare there, Terry. Trusted the ball well on that shot.
This will give the youngster a great deal of confidence to spare this one up.
You see here, he just throws the pin across, tips the head, knocks it out, gets the spare. He's going to be really happy. That's actually going to pump him up. He knows he threw a loose shot the first ball, and he's still alive. He'll be wanting to put this one away. Let's see what he can do here. He has to get himself together, calm himself down, make sure he throws the shot correctly, and crashes it.
Set.
And again, a nasty split. Let's have a look what went wrong that time, Tony.
Yes, Chris, we see the ball hooking up on lane 11. Same as Greg Brooks' first shot. This ball hooked a little bit too early, comes up towards the head pin and then jumps straight through the heart of the head pin, cutting out the middle and leaving the outside pins. A lot of extension there, a little bit hard on the ball perhaps. Well, takes one pin. Perhaps would have been an idea to get 2 of those.
Yeah, I think every pin in this match is going to count. They've both got open frames at the moment. I think every pin, every single pin they've got to go for. Here he is. He's just gone for it, thrown it out. Probably a little bit disgusted with himself. Tony, don't you think?
Yes, probably. If he could get to a better start than that, Carl's a better player than that. I think he's quite capable of doing a lot better.
Greg Brooks from Victoria, Taylors Lakes, 27 years of age, the Newcastle Open winner of 89, runner-up in the Launceston Cup, Victorian and Southgate Opens. Didn't like it. He's very vocal early on, talks his way through the shots.
Well, I think this is the way you've got to play. A lot of the players talk to themselves. Gary Key's a speciality at it. He just goes out there and keeps chattering away to himself. You can see what he wants to do. Don't point it. He wants the ball to get out to the right and come back. You know, I really feel that he'd be well advised to use this wine unit on his first ball, go back to playing the shot that he was playing before. But this is going to be a difficult spare. Oh, great. That was fantastic at this stage of the match. You know, he's left 2 splits straight off, picks up that one. That gets him back on a roll again. Tony, you'll see it here. He's picked this up perfectly.
Threw it exactly where it had to go, Terry, right between the 2 pins. Great shot.
And to get to this stage of the tournament, he defeated Paul Moreland, Harold Fryer in the first 2 rounds. And in the first knockout, David Weald, 182 to 175. Plenty of pressure in that match, as there will be in this one.
Come on! Right.
He liked it, and again, very vocal.
Yes, that was a great shot. That time he trusted the ball, got the ball out to the right, and let it ran back to the pocket. Tony, a great shot.
Good shot, Terry. Good shot. He trusted, as you say, trusted out there, got the 10 pin out well. That ball looked great. If he can just keep it on that line, he's in business.
Here we go back to Carl. Coming back after this split. Tony needs a strike desperately.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You can't let Greg get anywhere near any sort of lead on you.
And a great shot. That was an absolute great shot under that situation.
To see the ball here, going down, going out, coming back, here it comes. Yep, fine shot.
See it going through, collecting the pins, 10 in the pit. We'll take a break here on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Welcome back to Nine's Wide World of Sports. There's our two contestants in the second knockout of the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. Carl Bottomley is a 20-year-old student from Bulimba in Brisbane. He's currently trailing by 4 pins, has a strike up. Would dearly love to make it a double.
He certainly would. As you can see there before, Greg was looking up at the score. He's opened a frame, Carl's opened a frame, yet he's in front by 4. Carl wants this one. He wants the double.
He's got it.
There it is, Tony. That's really the shot Carl loves to play, isn't it, that one?
Oh, very much so, Terry. Getting the ball out on the lane well, throwing it out there, getting it back. Okay, now let's start coming back. Up to the head pin, hit that 7 out. All right, good shot.
We look at the two bowlers. Brooks is 27, Bottomley 20. Brooks hasn't played in a Coke before, hasn't been under the lights. Carl only once before. Who would handle the pressure better, would you think?
Well, really, they're both newcomers. I think Greg's had a good, solid 89, and I think he'll have learnt from that. I think he's going to hang in there.
Come on! Right.
Yes, he liked it, and he certainly does give it. And there in the audience was our top seed, who bowed out, unfortunately, Andrew Drew, and he is watching on as these two contest the second knockout.
Yes, Chris, actually, I know that Greg spends a lot of time working with a sports psychologist, and I think it could show in this match.
Also does a lot of work on the ball. He realises that every frame counts here. We're into the dollars. The loser, of course, $800. The winner can progress right to the final if he wins that. $4,000, a trip to Las Vegas to play in the high roller tournament, and big prize money over there in the United States. Greg Brooks now.
Back.
It was more hoping than anything else there, Terry.
He was, but he did trust it. Again, lane 11 not hooking as much. It really must be confusing for him to see Carl hooking the ball so much, and he can't. He's not getting the ball that time. He missed his target to the right a little. Ball coming back late.
Terry, you'll see there that the ball going longer, he did actually drop that one a little, I think, and made the ball go longer. He played more of the lane by dropping the ball short.
Yep, safely spares it up, so closes that frame. And the upholsterer from Taylor's Lakes in Victoria. We look at his style. Certainly does look textbook correct.
He's got a very, very good style. His head stays steady. He stays pretty upright at the foul line, as I said, gets good extension on the ball, gets the ball down the lane.
Good break there, Terry. Carl could have well left the 10 pin with that one, but he's only got the cluster of 3 to get.
Yes, this is going to be the thing with Carl. If he's going to miss, he'll probably tend to miss right, throw it out a bit too wide, try and bring it back. He could just cut the heart out of the pins and leave himself a mess. And spares are going to win this tournament.
Definitely, definitely so.
Let's see what he does with this. It doesn't take much time at all on his spares.
No, that's something I'd like to see Carl work on.
There you go. Maybe that ounce of time would have made the difference there as we check it out again.
See, Chris, you've really got to take your time. It is a time sport. You've got to have a rhythm going. There's just no rhythm in that shot. You can see the ball skidding through. He threw it right and it stayed right.
Are there any regulations for the amount of time between deliveries?
Not as a rule, Chris. Not as a rule. You can take as much time as you like within liberation.
There we go. That's the sort of reply he would have been looking for after opening a frame. Gets a strike at the 6th.
See on that shot, he's eased it up a little bit, caught more of the fingers, get it to roll a bit heavier, comes back, gets a good strike, trips the 4 out, late 10. He likes it. That's what he should have done before. He just got a little anxious, which again, with his youth, he's entitled to do. He just needs to become more experienced and learn a lot. But he's going to learn a great deal out of this match and out of this TV show. Well, let's see what Greg can do. If Greg can come back here, he can really put some pain in.
Yes!
All right. That was a good shot there, Tony.
Good shot, showing the signs of a few more years' maturity. You'll see the ball here, going down the lane well, getting good extension, reaching out, good shot. Coming up to the head pin now, solid strike.
That's dear we see it on pin cam, 10 in the 5th.
We'll take a break at this point in the second knockout in the 1989 Coca-Cola Classic. And at the moment, Greg Brooks, Lane's here. We're in the middle of a gripping knockout final of the 1989 Goldpin Coca-Cola Classic. There's the pressure starting to take its toll on the youngster, Carl Bottomley from Bulimba in Brisbane. His opponent is Greg Brooks from Taylor's Lakes in Victoria. These two certainly staging a great battle.
This is shaping up to be a great match. A really good match. Greg now wants to keep the ball clean. He doesn't want to open any frames and let Carl back in.
Oh, just didn't get that 7-pin out.
That was a bit unlucky, but again, the ball's going to roll through the wetter lane. You'll see it here, the ball just not making it back. Doesn't come up, it doesn't grip the lane, doesn't get the revolutions, doesn't get the adhesion to the lane, therefore it's not rolling properly, and he doesn't get the desired result.
Everything was all but right. It just that 7-pin didn't go down.
And safely spares it up, so closes that frame. All important here, as every pin counts, as we found out with the seedings, where Tom Curry became top seed with the elimination of Andrew Drew by 1 pin. And here it is, that could make all the difference in the end.
Certainly could. Certainly could. As we see here, if Carl punches out, he's still got 230, and Greg's only got a possible 227. Oh, that's just an absolute great shot. Tony, you know Carl well. Do you think that'll pump him up?
That'll definitely pump him up. He'll get the adrenaline going with that shot, Terry, tremendously. He loves to blow that 5-pin into the 7. You've just seen Greg Brooks leave the 7. Carl ripping the 5 into the 7. There it goes. Great shot.
See, he pushed the 5-pin upright, so he didn't really catch all that much of the 5-pin.
Well, probably the ball was still sliding a little bit as it was coming up to the pocket, Terry. Just sliding a little bit, but nevertheless got the 5 onto the 7, and that's a strike.
He's still shaking his head a little there. He doesn't look as confident as I think he should. But a good shot here.
Oh, could have been left with a nasty spare there. Bit of luck.
Yeah, the ball breaking very late there, Chris. Almost leaving that 10-pin as we see the ball go down the lane. Here it comes. Hooking up, jumping right there. Jumped up too high. 10-pin, the last pin to go. Watch it from another angle. There it is, 10-pin, just gone. Leaves him the 4 and the 7-pin to make.
And makes it. No problem there. And again, all important to close the frames. Time for him to take a break as we watch the style of young Carl Bottomley.
You know, bowling the ball straight the way Carl does is just the best way to bowl at spares. You should bowl straight. But here's Greg. He's just got to settle himself, as you can see. It's so important, the tension, the heat of the lights, the whole thing. It's an extremely close match. Greg will only be 9 pins in front if he strikes here, and he wants to get a strike.
Oh, dropped that one again, Terry.
Yes, he didn't like that shot at all, did he?
Stood up at the release point of the ball. Really, everything was just a little bit out. Just a little bit out. Would have been a good shot to jump on top of Carl with that one.
We look at the previous frame, the 7th. Only 6 pins in it. Bottomley, of course, coming off a spare, so vital now for Brooks to maintain the front running. He needs to spare up. And does so. Well done, under immense pressure.
He's got to stay clean. He's got to keep making spares and make Carl strike. He's in front at the moment. If he just spares out, it means Carl has to strike, and Carl's not looking too confident at the moment.
Well, Terry, Greg's only had the 1 open frame. Carl's had 2, and I think that's really the deciding point of this match right now.
Well, it is, since Carl's had more strikes than Greg. So the open frames have cost them. But here we see Greg wants to put it away. I think he likes lane 11. He struck a couple of times there. Let's see if he can get this one. This one's important. Well, he hated that one, Tony.
Yes, that one crossing over the Brooklyn, Terry, with that little bit of oil. The ball won't quite go right the way across the head pin to get that Brooklyn strike, as we've seen earlier on in the telecast, leaving the 6 and the 10 pin.
See another shot of it here, puts it down, just doesn't get it down the lane. Of course, the back end's taking the ball across.
Yep.
Yeah, spares it up again, and another close frame here in the foundation. for Greg Brooks. So these two neck and neck at the moment.
Well, they are. Carl can strike out for 208. Greg can only strike out for 202. Again, it's all back on Carl. Greg was a little worried about that one. Had his heart in his throat for a second.
Terry, I don't think you're going to win the matches with spares at this stage. I think someone's going to have to take the initiative.
Get up.
Well, that's exactly what he wanted. You called it. He's got to get strikes. And Carl's just the person to do it.
Trusted the ball. Throws it out to his mark. Calls it back. Says, come on, come on, come on. There it is. The pin action. Getting the 8-pin just to fall.
See here on our pin cam. See that last pin just falling over. Certainly gives you a good shot of the pins, don't it?
4 pins difference between the two bowlers. We'll take a break here on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Nine's Wide World of Sports and our coverage of the 89 Coca-Cola Classic. This is young Carl Bottomley. He's coming off a strike in the foundation. Would really like to strike out for a total of 208. And shut out Greg Brooks, who is sitting back and gathering his thoughts.
So this is going to be interesting here to see whether Carl can put this away. That's exactly what we've been talking about before. Carl went high on the head pin before. He just tried to play the same shot. Carl's only knows one way to go about it, and that's to give it everything he's got. We'll see here. Hits the ball, lost it a long way down. Comes in high. He was lucky to take the 10 before. This time it didn't go.
Yes, Terry, you can't run the gauntlet of trying to do that too many times.
There it is in the interim. It was a tough split. Let's have a look what he did.
Carl had to go for this split. He really did. Because now all it means is Greg really only has to get 9 pins to win.
Well, he's got to be feeling now, Terry, that I haven't got to do it. Let's have some practice shots here for my next match, really. I mean, he should be getting lined up on these shots.
Exactly. This is his second match out there. This is...
Well, he's got his 9 pins.
It's, as we've seen here in these matches before, a lot of them are lost and not won. See Greg here just going through the motions. But Tony, I think, Tony, you're right. I think he should have tried another line or at least another ball.
Definitely, Terry. Would have been a good time to do it. Safely has the match in hand. Let's see what he does with this ball.
What do you do here?
Well, really, he should try another shot. You know, like he's only shooting 190. I don't think 190 is going to win in the tournament. So he really should just try. He should trust it to the right. Actually, should throw it right and see if it comes back.
Slowed it up, Terry.
So there it is. That's the second knockout. Successful is Greg Brooks, 190 to 176 over Carl Bottomley. Brooks advances to meet Ken Sheehan in our next knockout. And for Carl Bottomley, the loser, $800 compliments of Coca-Cola and Goldpin.